In a recent video, I explained that the transiting eras through the 23, 24, 25 degrees of Aries during this period in his life is a highly problematic transit for Trump because it is squaring Venus from the legal house, the ninth, and it's persistent and continues for years and years. And so if we now go from right to left, not every point is as significant. Some are more determinative, more powerful. Some are simply adding on to it, so to speak. And so if I go from right to left, then we see the mean node, the traveling nodes. Whatever you see here is the sign that the north node is in. The south node is in the opposite position, meaning right now the north node is in Aries, and therefore the south node is in Libra. And this graphic shows that from the summer of 2023 all the way into the election of 2024, whole swath of time, the north node is in Aries, backtracking. That's the way the nodes move. They move in reverse until when we reach down here in early 2025, they'll backtrack into Pisces. Normally, nodes are not the easiest symbols to work with in terms of getting totally reliable transits. My experience of the nodes is that sometimes they are incredibly reflective of what is going on, and other times it doesn't seem that compelling. It could be that because Trump has his natal nodes next to his sun and moon, and they automatically become more important for him. I do remember back in 2020, quite a few people were commenting on the channel that he would win because the north node was returning to its original position, which is something that happens every 19 years, and it appeared to be significant to some. I didn't think so because the surrounding energy was so challenging, and indeed that's what happened. And in any case, if you're looking at nodal patterns, you typically look at strong karmic consequences. And by all accounts, 2020 was representing that for Trump, and not on the positive side either, and that's indeed what happened. So now we see that the nodes are cutting across Aries, Libra, and this is quite an interesting coincidence. Astrology is, in a sense, the art of meaningful coincidence, in that the nodes cut across 3-9, and specifically the north node in Aries, that's the legal domain. And within Aries, you would point to the late degrees when the nodes were squaring, the Saturn-Venus conjunction. And then down here, when you get into the summer and into early fall, the node will backtrack and connect with the axis Hollywood T-square formed by Eris, Neptune, and Mercury. Both those periods would therefore be more complicated, more difficult. But overall, having the nodes go through Aries and Libra cannot be said to be a positive feature in his life at this time, because it's simply one more pattern that points to the same house. And you notice that as we speak right now, the node, Eris, the Sun, Mercury, Chiron, and Venus, there's a lot of activity in this house. And this is probably because he's about to enter his first criminal trial. He's trying everything he can not to, which, by the way, completely gives away the fact that he does not want to go to court. If he genuinely believed in his own innocence, he would want to go to court and get it settled, but he knows very well that in court, facts rule the day. You can't just make up stuff the way he always does. And so this cluster of planets in the legal house is very reflective of the situation. But of course, you have to realize that Venus, Mercury, even though Mercury is retrograde and will be here a little longer because of that, Mercury, as time passes, will exit Aries. Venus will also exit, and the traveling sun will also exit. But Eris remains there for years and years. Chiron, you will see, is in Aries and is there the whole rest of the year. In fact, you can see it here in the ephemeris. The whole time it's in Aries. And so is the node. And those remain. They remain in place and maintain the grip that this house will continue to have on him. Also, there's this period here in May, early May to the early June period, about a month or a little more, when Mars will enter Aries. Mars is a bigger feature than Venus or Mercury or the traveling sun. It stays there longer, so it's equivalent to, let's say, 2 of these. It's more challenging. So bottom line, this situation, meaning the node is yet another thing we add on to the column of problems this man is experiencing and why he is having such a hard time at the moment.